All right, this is that TBX that I recapped and took out the ground loops on, and just did a couple of upgrades to the sound overall the other day. And the tubes are in it are the tube set that I ordered for that 65 AC30. I'll talk about those when we get to that amp. I'm about to power it on. You're going to hear a hum as the output tubes draw current. That hum will then drop as they all begin to draw equal amounts of current, and you get common mode cancellation. But there will be a buzz present at all times, and that buzz is due to the power transformer. You can put your ear up to it and hear the buzz acoustically in the transformer, and that is just radiating in a noise field and gets picked up in the phase inverter. I've run into this on other TBXs, and the solution is a new power transformer, and the owner has already agreed to that. It is on order, and this fix does the trick. The first time I ran into this, man, it took me forever. I was trying all kinds of things to find where the hum was and the buzz was in the circuit itself. It's not in anything here. There's nothing you can change on the board. There's nothing you do wrong. It's just a noise field from an old faulty power transformer, because the phase inverter inputs are a high impedance node, and they're like, yes, please, I would be glad to be an antenna. Anyway, I'm powered on, not using standby, doesn't need it. Doesn't hurt it, but it's not necessary. So just power it on, and we'll just wait a little bit. As the B plus begins to flow, this light will start to come on. There's the hum and the buzz. The hum is receding, the buzz is staying the same. All right, that hum will continue to drop a little bit, but right now it's pretty much where we expect it to be. It's going to be a little bit lower than this as the amp fully warms up, but that buzz is there at all times. Now, it's well below the level of what you're playing, but it is annoying, and it's the old faulty power transformer. You're going to be hearing this through another client's AC30 with the Celestian Blue Alnicos. It's mic'd with a 57, pretty much right at the edge of the cone where it meets the dust cap, and that's running through a Focusrite Scarlett straight to the computer, no processing. Let's start with the vibe trim. We'll start on the vibe setting. Let's go to the trim setting. That's kind of fun. All right. Let's go to the normal channel. Now to the normal channel. And as you can hear, that buzz is at a constant level regardless of the preamp volume settings. So it's just in the very output of the amp, the phase inverter. So it doesn't get worse as you turn the volumes up. The normal channel in the stock AC30 from the 60s, the JMI era, say the 1963 AC36 normal AC30. If I can be redundant. The normal channel is much darker than this and much fuller in the lows because it was also to be used for bass or accordion or keyboard or whatever they sold you to plug into an amplifier. I optimize it for guitar. That's one of the reasons I call my mods the JMI Plus package. It gets what's good about the JMI, but it just optimizes it more for guitar use. And that's pretty much what you get on the Excalibur 15. Now on the normal channel, if you're using it a lot, you may want to turn the cut down to get a little more high end out. But it's not a bright channel. It's a very balanced channel. Let me switch over to the SG real quick. All right. This channel with a higher gain pickup like this tends to be very, very full. And it's why on the Excalibur, I make there be a tight switch to kind of take out any flub. Let me go make sure I wasn't clipping the hell out of the mic pre on that. A note on the AC30 normal channel when dimed like this, you notice that it is very, very full sounding. That's why on the Excalibur 15, I put in that tight switch to kind of attenuate the ultra lows, tighten it up so it doesn't flub. That's why Rory Gallagher and Brian May used in Rory's case, treble boosters, which also dials out that flub and then gives it even more gain than this. So this is an awful lot of gain. Doesn't sound like a Marshall, it sounds like what it is. But one thing you need to know is that there can be a little bit of ghosting on the JMI circuit with the low filtering. Very complicated what's going on to cause that, but in a nutshell, it's the very low filtering and the relatively high current draw of cathode bias. And if you adjust it so that it does not ghost like that, you lose a lot of the complex harmonic interactions and the cleans and the semi-cleans and the mildly dirty stuff. You know, if you're just gonna be doing balls to the wall Brian May stuff, his amps are modded for that and they don't ghost like this, but he's not using a top boost channel. He's not using a vibrato channel. He's only ever using a dimed brilliant normal channel with the cut all the way bright with the treble booster, then a whole bunch of choruses and delays and flangers and stuff. And his clean sound is he rolls his volume all the way back. That's his clean. Of course, he's got that treble booster, so it still stays bright. So if you are the world's biggest Brian May fan, I would be glad to do an amp like his, which will not do that ghosting, but it will not have the complex cleans on the other channels that the AC30 is otherwise known for. So there's always a trade-off. And it's mostly there on the neck pickup. But it is there on both. That's just something you need to know about AC30s if you want them to really sound like a JMI. JMIs do this. Let's go to the top boost channel. Brilliant. The brilliant channel. I'm going to turn the cut down a little bit. So let's stay with the Gibson for a little bit. That's the weird trick about this tone circuit that you will have heard on a lot of records without knowing it. It's backwards on the JMIs compared to the TBX, but it does the same thing. So much fun. All right, same amp settings as what you just heard with that SG. You make it a little less painful and dial in the mids. that's bright. Not a Gretsch, but... And one other trick to put in here, just because it's fun. I don't always jumper channels on these amps with a 15-foot cable, but that's the closest thing I had, and I'm tethered with this mic, so. When you have them jumpered and they're out of phase, the signal that the two channels have in common is the mids. So as you turn up both channels, you get an increase in highs and lows, and the mids scoop, and it's kind of bigger than any Fender. It's all in a sweet spot too, you gotta find it. Sounds like this make me wish that I could cheat and use a bunch of chorus and delay and overdrive pedals on these things. But just think how cool Sam Velo would sound playing through this, right? Anyway, I'm really pleased with how the amp is sounding overall. Just need to get that new power transformer in and get the remaining buzz gone, because there it is, waiting for us at all times.